My brothers, my sisters, my people, listen to me with your hearts open and your heads held high. They laughed at us. They mocked us. They said Africa cannot dream. Africa cannot build. Africa cannot move without the permission of the West. But today, in the land of the upright people, in Burkina Faso, we are proving them wrong. A wooden train is being built here on our soil by our hands with our vision. This is not just a train. This is a declaration of war against doubt, against humiliation, against the chains of dependency. For too long, they told us that only Europe can engineer, that only the West can innovate, that Africa's role is to consume, to beg, to wait. But no more, we are not slaves of their system. We are builders of our destiny. When the world sees this wooden train, they will ask, why wood? Why not steel? Why not imported machines? And we will answer with pride because we use what we have. Because our genius is not limited by their standards. Because in the hands of a free African, wood becomes stronger than their steel. Because it carries dignity, courage, and hope. Let me tell you, this train is not just transport, it is a symbol. A symbol that Africa can rise with its own resources. A symbol that poverty is not our destiny, it is their strategy. A symbol that from the forest, from the ground, from the sweat of our people, we can design our own future. The wooden train of Burkina Faso is a lesson to the whole world. Do not underestimate Africa. They thought we would collapse when they abandoned us. They thought we would surrender when they isolated us. But instead, with imperialism, we are creating something new. Something they cannot control. Something that comes from the spirit of Thomas Sankara, who taught us to live with dignity, to rely on ourselves, to rise even when the enemy wants us down. As this train will carry our children, our workers, our farmers, our soldiers. It will carry the dreams of a nation that refuses to die. It will carry the voices of Africa from the villages to the cities, saying loud and clear, we are not waiting anymore, we are moving forward. And to the colonizers who still dream of controlling us, I say, look closely. This train may be wooden, but it is built with fire. The fire of a free people who no longer bow. The fire of a generation that has buried fear. The fire of Africa reclaiming her destiny. My people, do not be afraid when they call us poor. Do not be afraid when they insult us. A lion does not answer the opinion of highness. What matters is not their word, but our work. What matters is not their judgment, but our victory. And this wooden train is victory. 1 train day, 10 trains tomorrow, 100 after that. Do you see what we are doing? We are breaking the walls of impossibility. We are teaching our children that greatness does not come from Paris, from Washington, from London. Greatness comes from Ouagadougou, from Bobo Dioulasso, from every Burkina heart that dares to believe. Brothers and sisters, Africa is watching us. The oppressed of the world are watching us. When they see this wooden train, they will know if Burkina Faso can rise, if Burkina Faso can invent, then every African nation can rise, every oppressed people can fight, every child of Africa can dream again. So I ask you, stand tall. Work with your hands. Protect your land. Believe in your genius. This wooden train is not the end. It is the beginning. The beginning of an Africa that moves on its own rails, not the rails of colonial powers. The beginning of an Africa that builds with its own hands, not the hands of those who exploit. The beginning of an Africa that walks upright, proud, and free. Let the world tremble when they see what we are doing. Let them know Burkina Faso is not kneeling. Burkina Faso is not silent. Burkina Faso is alive, awake, and unbreakable. And to every child listening tonight, never believe you are too small. Never believe Africa cannot create. Never believe the enemy when he tells you we are nothing. Look at this train. It is built by us, for us, with us. If we can build this, we can build a nation. If we can build a nation, we can build a continent. If we can build a continent, then Africa will rise again and no one will stop her. Burkina Faso, Africa, stand up. The train of freedom has left the station and it will never stop. The first point is the wooden train itself as a symbol of defiance and dignity. In a world where Africa has been told again and again that it cannot build, cannot innovate, cannot stand without the hand of the West, this train becomes a weapon against humiliation. It is not just about transport or technology, it is about pride. By choosing wood, by choosing local resources, by choosing to create with what is available, Burkina Faso is telling the world, our genius is not defined by foreign standards. What matters is not how it looks to outsiders, but what it means to us. It means freedom. It means resilience. It means that in the face of mockery, in the face of doubt, we still rise and create. That is power and that is revolution. The second point is that the wooden train represents self-reliance and the spirit of Sankara. For too long, poverty has been forced on us as destiny, when in reality it has been a strategy of colonizers and neocolonizers. This project breaks that lie. It shows that with determination, with courage, we can take what we have and build something that serves our people. It revives the lesson Thomas Sankara taught: live with dignity. Use what you have. Never depend on your enemies to feed or guide you. The train carries his spirit, reminding us that even if they isolate us, even if they try to weaken us, we are not broken. We can walk on our own feet, move on our own rails, and rise on our own terms. The third point is that this train is a victory against mockery and fear. When the colonizers see it, they may laugh, but their laughter is only fear in disguise. Because they know that if Burkina Faso proves innovation is possible without them, the whole of Africa will no longer need them. This train carries the fire of resistance, and that fire burns stronger than their steel. It shows that what matters is not imported perfection, but indigenous creation. A lion does not answer hyenas. Africa does not need to explain herself to her oppressors. The real answer is the work, the result, the victory that this wooden train represents. It is proof that impossibility has been broken. The fourth point is that this train is not just for Burkina Faso, but for Africa and the oppressed world. Every child, every farmer, every worker who steps into it will feel the strength of a nation that refuses to bow. And when Africa sees it, hope will awaken. If Burkina Faso can create, then Congo, Mali, Nigeria, every nation can do the same. This train is a message to all oppressed people across the globe. Your chains are illusions, your limitations are lies. One example can ignite millions, and this train is the spark that says Africa can move, Africa can dream, Africa can win. The fifth point is that this is not an ending but a beginning. One train today means 10 tomorrow, 100 after, until Africa builds not just machines but nations and a future free from foreign control. It is a lesson to our children that greatness does not come from Paris or Washington, but from Ouagadougou, from African hands, from African soil. This project is the seed of a new Africa, one that does not ask for permission but creates with confidence. The wooden train is the first step on a long track that leads to unity, dignity, and freedom. It is the roar of Africa waking up, the unstoppable momentum of a people who are finally moving forward without chains.